Right. Good evening, everybody. If I can just call you to order briefly. Can I encourage you all just to suspend your conversation momentarily, and if I can also encourage you to come down a little bit further to the front, that would be great. Okay, right. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, look, good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Professor Ashley Wheaton. I'm Vice-Chancellor at the University of the Built Environment, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening to what is now our fifth Built Environment Apprenticeship Awards. Very warm and dry welcome to all of you, including those of you who are joining us via Livestream this evening. And wherever you're watching from, we're absolutely delighted to have you with us as we come together to celebrate something which we all know is truly special. Just before we get into the awards themselves, and I introduce our special guest for the evening, I just wanted to share a few of my own thoughts about where we are. I've been at the University of the Built Environment now for around 12 and a bit years. And during that time, I've had the enormous privilege to lead the organisation on a remarkable journey. We've grown from what was a small independent college into now a fully fledged and recognised university. And of course, along the way, apprenticeships have played a central role in who we are and in what we do. Over the years, apprenticeships have grown from zero to becoming nearly 70% of our overall provision today. And I couldn't be prouder of the impact that we've had on learners, on employers, and of course on the wider built environment sector. So it feels particularly special for me to host this evening and recognise the achievements of our outstanding apprentices and the employers who of course support them so brilliantly. We often talk about apprenticeships as being a three-way partnership between the apprentice, the employer and the university. And that partnership has never felt stronger than it does today. The successes that we're celebrating this evening, they simply wouldn't be possible without the commitment, the energy and the belief of everybody in this room, as well as many beyond. This year feels like a particularly meaningful milestone. From just 259 apprentices a decade ago, we now proudly support 3,000 apprentices across a wide range of programmes and pathways in 2026. That journey really is an incredible success story, and it makes us by far the largest provider of degree apprenticeships in the built environment, bar none. According to the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, I'm absolutely delighted that Nick McLean, the current president, is here with us tonight. We represent over half of all of the chartered surveyor apprentices in England, more than all of the other universities combined. But growth alone isn't what matters. What really matters is who those apprentices are, where they come from, and where they go next. Back in the 2015-16 academic year, around 24% of our apprentices were female. Today, that's 38% of our 3,000 apprentices. And given, as we know, the demographics of our industry, that's an extraordinary statistic. And furthermore, over 20% of our apprentices come from ethnic minority backgrounds. That's real progress in building a more inclusive, more representative profession for the future. We're also incredibly proud of the outcomes our apprentices achieve, and of course tonight we have a huge opportunity to celebrate that. Over 95% of those who graduate progress into professional or managerial roles, or further study or positive destinations within 15 months of completing their programme. And in the most recent academic year, nearly half of all of our graduates were apprentices, with over 50% of them UK domicile graduates coming through the apprenticeship routes. These figures tell a powerful story about the impact of apprenticeships, not just here at the University of the Built Environment, but across our sector as a whole. Of course, it's well documented, our industry continues to face major challenges, but equally there are exciting opportunities that we should also look forward to. Sustainability remains at the forefront of everything that we do. And last month I had the pleasure of congratulating the very first graduates from our Innovation in Sustainable Built Environments Masters programme at our winter graduation ceremony. But sustainability is only one part of the picture. We're also responding to rapid change driven by technology, by artificial intelligence, by renewables, by urbanisation, and by ambitious national infrastructure and housing targets. And at the same time, we all know there are skills shortages across the whole sector. And that's why we're working closely with industry bodies, with the professional institutes and organisations, as well as with Skills England, to shape new and more flexible pathways into the profession. One exciting development is the work around a common entry route at level 4, which would offer a broad foundation into the built environment and open doors to dozens of job roles across the sector. This more stepped approach would allow learners to build competence, progress at different stages of their careers, and continue into specialisms at the right time for them. It reflects something we strongly believe in, that learning shouldn't always be a single straight line, and that recognising skills, knowledge and progress along the journey is just as important as the final qualification itself. Flexibility, lifelong learning and real-world competence will undoubtedly be key in meeting the future needs of our industry, and that's of course exactly where our apprentices come in. Our apprentices bring fresh perspectives, they bring determination, they bring innovation, and as we all know, they bring an incredible work ethic. They're the future thinkers and doers who will shape the built environment for generations to come. And that of course brings us perfectly to why we're all here tonight. During National Apprenticeship Week, there's no better time to shine a spotlight on the remarkable achievements of our apprentices and on the employers who support them. Tonight is about celebrating that hard work, the resilience it takes to succeed, and the ambition that we know everybody shares. It's about recognising the individuals who are not only building their own careers, but are helping to build the future of our industry. To all of our nominees, finalists and winners this evening, you should all be immensely proud of what you've achieved. And to every apprentice in the room, and to those watching online, you represent the very best of what this sector has to offer. I'd really like to take a moment to thank you all for your dedication, for your passion, and overall contribution to what we know is an exciting sector and one which offers so many diverse and varied opportunities across the whole of the built environment. So next, it's my great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. We really are incredibly fortunate to be joined by someone whose career perfectly embodies innovation, leadership and impact across the built environment. Michaela Wain's journey is one of ambition, resilience and success, and I know her story will inspire many of you here this evening. And Michaela is a hugely successful business leader and entrepreneur. She heads up several organisations across industry, including Design and Build UK and Women in Construction. She also sits on the board of the NOCN, and some of you may even recognise her as a finalist from the TV series The Apprentice, where she went on to secure investment after the show, but that was really just the start. What truly sets Michaela apart is her drive to make construction a more inclusive and a fairer industry. She founded her first ever Women in Construction Awards and has taken the conversation right the way up to the House of Lords, regularly speaking out on national TV and mainstream media platforms. She also works closely with mental health charities, supporting both women and men who are working in this sector. She's absolutely passionate, as you will see, about creating opportunity, especially in the north, championing inclusive workplaces and making sure that SMEs and micro businesses get a fair shot at winning contracts. Please join me in welcoming Michaela Wain to the stage.
Hello.
So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to ask Michaela a few questions, which I don't really need to do, because we could just let you loose.
I can talk a glass eye to sleep. They've told me, be quick, basically. So.
Only for the sake of those that are waiting to find out whether they've won. Anyway, why don't we start at the beginning? Tell us a little bit more about why you're in this industry and what motivates you, what gets you out of bed in the morning.
Surprisingly, I didn't wake up as a child and think, do you know what? I really want a construction magazine. I really want to help women in construction. It wasn't the dream, it wasn't the goal. I was actually at university studying religion and special needs, which transferable because anybody who knows they're trying to get a site complete on budget and in time, you say a lot of prayers. So that was all I brought over from my religion degree. But actually I was taking a year out from university and my dad made me get a job. How annoying. And the only jobs that I was offered was Greg's pasty shop, Blue Hernet, 19, not for me, selling advertising in a construction magazine. So I was very familiar with the industry. All of my family work in construction, on the tools, or something along those lines. So it wasn't daunting to me. I understood it. I understood the industry, was very good at sales, hit a glass ceiling, started my own company. The rest is history. And now here I am. And honestly, it's that easy. So yeah, it wasn't the dream. The dream wasn't construction, but I think this industry has a real way of getting hold of you and never letting you go because it's so fast-paced. And my brain's all over the show. I need new things. I need innovation. I need to be doing something else, and that is what this industry is. So to remain in it has been very easy for me.
I'm going to go off script a little bit, so don't panic if you're in the marketing team, okay? Just give us a little bit of a sense, because you and I have talked quite a lot in the build-up to this, about your vision for this industry. You know, if it was perfect and a lot of the work that you're involved in wasn't necessary, what could it look like? What are we missing out on, and what's your sort of vision for how this industry could look?
I love this industry, so I've got to say every single opportunity that I've been given, 98% of that has come from white men. So, and I've got 2 white boys, and I've got 2 sons, I've got 4 brothers, I've got a dad, a stepdad, they're all great, everybody's in construction. So I have no issue with that, with men in the industry. But I just think we are not feeling the impact of what is to come. And we keep talking about this skills gap shortage, and we're ignoring 51% of the population. We're just ignoring women. And we've seen across the globe, across all industries, that actually diverse teams produce better outcomes, produce better bottom line profits, increase your bottom line profits. Engineering everything is better when you have a diverse team. So why are we ignoring half the population by ignoring women? So my ideal would just, as Beyonce said, who runs the world, girls, just having it run by women. I take it all back, get the men out.
I'm feeling increasingly uncomfortable up here, just for everyone's. We have to ask about what it was like to be on The Apprentice, and what was the most surprising thing that sort of came out of that for you, and how did it help shape what's come next for you?
So, unprofessionally, the biggest shock was the child that I had from meeting a candidate on the show. We lowered the tone, turned it into Love Island. I had a child with another candidate, not Lord Sugars, unfortunately, because that paycheck would have been sweet. So, annoyingly, a struggling businessman. So that was a shock. But also, actually, the reason that I went into The Apprentice, surprisingly now, was I really suffered with social anxiety, bad. Like, I didn't ever do face-to-face sales. I couldn't be around people. I would just sweat my head off. So I was like, if I go on to The Apprentice, then surely there's no worse situation to be in than being publicly humiliated by Lord Sugar. So I always want to be extreme. I went on that. And then what I realised, when I first went in, I was looking at all these other candidates like, oh, he's a barrister, they've got a business, they do this, and really just feeling very deeply insecure. When actually I was doing 4 million turnover at that time with the business that I had, so we was doing well in retrospect, but I didn't feel that. I felt really uncomfortable, and it was only after a few weeks of seeing how truly inept the other candidates, including my partner now, was, that I thought, oh, actually, I deserve to be in this room.
Yeah.
You know, Lord Sugar and the production team and Karen and Claude, they invited me into the room, they welcomed me in, they chose me for a reason. So I thought, I may as well just get comfortable. And I think that would be the biggest takeaway for me, is to not feel intimidated. Everybody here are just human beings. You've probably got kids, you've got parents, we all work, we all want money, we all want similar things in life. So I guess my main thing has been to just not be a nervous wreck, actually, and meet more people.
That's brilliant. I feel vindicated, actually, because for years I've been shouting the word inept at the television. at that very programme, not about you, by the way. But anyway, right, wonderful. Thank you so much. We've got a couple of questions that were submitted by our audience this evening. The first one is about if you were to do a real apprenticeship, not a TV one, what would you choose to do that in?
Which one leads to the most money? would be my honest. I'd look for where I could get the most money and climb the fastest, the biggest gaps, and I would go for that. Sorry, this wasn't a thought-out answer, but show me the money.
Okay, very good. Well, you're in good company, because as some people in the room know, you know, the Telegraph reported us as the second-ranked university for outcomes in terms of student earnings. So you could probably pick any one of the ones that we do. So
I might start an apprenticeship then.
We'll look forward to seeing you. And you know, if you think ahead about your professional career, you've already achieved so much. But if there's one more thing that you could achieve in your professional career, what would it be?
Equality for women in construction, and I don't mean 50% women working on site, because 50% of women don't want to work on site, but I just mean being given that opportunity when you go into a site, having a toilet. When I go onto a site, if ever you have the pleasure of meeting me on a construction site, please don't ignore me. If I ask you a question, answer me and not the person who I employ because he's a man. Just things like this, getting rid of the unconscious bias for women, creating more opportunities, and especially, obviously, I'm dead northern. I would like to see more work happening and more contracts given to people in the north as well.
Okay, wonderful. That's two ambitions, but okay. Thank you so much. I mean, we could probably listen to you talk all evening, but we do have to make some awards, and you're going to help us with that, I think. So stay up here. But just before we get onto the awards, can you please all give Michaela a very big round of applause? Thank you so much. Okay. The moment we have, I think, all been waiting for has arrived, and it is now time to announce the winners of the Built Environment Apprenticeship Awards for 2026. Just before I do that, I would really like to extend my sincerest thanks to our judging panel. Those that were on it will know that this year, and this is absolutely no word of a lie, was harder than ever. We had more nominees and many more nominations in each case. And it does indeed get harder and harder each year. But my thanks to Kim, to Renata, to Roy and to Chris, who helped us decide those that have been shortlisted and our winners for this evening. I have to say, reviewing the submissions is always one of the most enjoyable parts of my job, but it is incredibly challenging given the exceptionally high standard of the entries that are before us. Just before we start announcing each winner in turn, please could I just ask you to join me in applauding every single person that was nominated and shortlisted for an award this evening. So congratulations to everybody, but now let's move on to our winners. Our first group of awards is for our employer representatives. These awards recognise employers in 3 categories, for SMEs, for the public sector, and also for large organisations. Nominees for these awards are individuals from those organisations with apprentices enrolled at the university. And they're people who've demonstrated exceptional levels of support for their apprentices, whether on a one-to-one basis or by overseeing outstanding apprenticeship programmes as a whole. So our nominees in the first category, which is the public sector, are as follows. First of all, Jaromir Kventoon, who's Principal Surveyor at Cambridge City Council. Anisha Ray, who is Regeneration Manager at Liverpool City Council. And Daniel Rubio, who is the Apprenticeships and Graduate Engagement Partner at Thames Water. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you just a very small snippet of what was said about our winner in each category. They stand out as an exemplary apprenticeship employer due to their unwavering dedication to creating meaningful opportunities for apprentices and for their commitment to high quality training. They support their apprentices at every stage of the journey, and I'm confident that they are deserving of this award for their outstanding contribution to the wider apprenticeship community, the university, and to any future apprentices. Now, unfortunately, our first winner is caught in a rail problem and is not yet with us, maybe later, but please, in the individual's absence, can you give a big round of applause for our winner this evening, who is Jaromir Kventoon. We are told he may be here by 8 o'clock, so we may have an opportunity to present the award. On to our SME category next. Our shortlisters are, first of all, Jason Anthill, Managing Director of PRE Building. Well done. First rule of any awards event, bring your fan club with you. The next shortlisted individual is Philip Castagnet, Associate Director at Celsius Building Control. And third on the shortlist is Peter Gurney, Head of Surveying at Bartley West. And again, here's just a small insight into what was said about our winner. They invest heavily in their staff, celebrating achievements and special occasions. The proactive leadership, dedication, and genuine investment in their team's professional development make them an outstanding example of an employer who truly supports apprenticeship success. I'm absolutely delighted to say that our winner is Jason Anthill. The final of our employer representative categories is for large organisations. This really is a big category, and so we have 4 shortlisted. The first of whom is Julia Lee, Training and Development Advisor at Workman. Vicky Palmer, Head of CSR and Emerging Talent at Hollis. Serena Phillips, Associate Director at Savills. And Chidinma Uje, Project Manager at Mace. again, here's just a glimpse about why this individual is our winner. They have created an exceptional apprenticeship program that not only equips apprentices with practical skills, but also fosters a supportive and inclusive learning environment. They're a joy to work with and a wonderful advocate for the university. Now, unfortunately, our winner could not be with us this evening because she's away in Atlanta, but we do have a very worthy individual who has volunteered to come and pick up the award on her behalf, who is last year's winner of the Vice Chancellor's Award. So our winner in this category is Serena Phillips. And Dante has volunteered to come and pick up the award. Okay, we're now going to move on to our first apprentice category, and this is the Apprentice of the Year. This award category is for any current apprentice in the second year and above who we believe has made an outstanding contribution during their apprenticeship, either through demonstrating academic excellence in their degree or a significant contribution in their workplace. And our shortlisted undergraduate category are Ayon Batriwong from Hollis, Zara Edmonds from CBRE, and Rory Johnston from the Environment Agency. And here's just a couple of snippets about what people said about our winner. They are an exceptional apprentice who exemplifies professionalism, resilience, and ambition. They remain multidisciplined, delivering across key services and adapting seamlessly to different property types and client requirements. They deal with high-value, complex instructions daily, often independently, and manage their time with precision, balancing work commitments with their academic studies. Clients request them by name, which is an extraordinary feat for someone at such an early level of their studies. And our winner as the Apprentice of the Year is Ayon Batriwong. Next, we move on. Next, we're going to move on to those who've been shortlisted in the Postgraduate Apprentice of the Year category. The first of whom is Jasmine Chamberlain from Kurt Wyam Surveyors. Next is Hare from Vistry Group. And our third shortlisted nominee is Pinder Nahal from the Valuation Office Agency. And here's what was said about our winner. Now, since joining my team, they consistently demonstrate professionalism, technical competence, and a proactive attitude that sets them apart. They exemplify the qualities of a future leader in the construction industry. What stands out most is their ability to apply their academic learning directly to their work. They're proactive in seeking opportunities to grow, regularly asking insightful questions, and taking the initiative to deepen their understanding. Their contributions are thoughtful, well-informed, and always delivered with a collaborative spirit. Congratulations to our winner, Callum Hare. I just have to say there are genuinely moments when, honestly, I enjoy my job so much, and this is absolutely right. Our final apprentice category is the Rising Star Award, which recognises apprentices who've made their mark at the very beginning of their apprenticeship. Our 4 shortlisted nominees for the Rising Star Award are Eden James from the Ministry of Defence, Millie Cricken from Enigma, Rhoda Mante Agre from Places for London, and Ethan Randall from LGM Developments. And this is what was said about our winner. Their ability to communicate complex issues clearly and concisely has earned the respect of senior leaders and reinforced their reputation as a reliable and capable team member. Their contribution during critical work periods is invaluable. They don't simply fill a gap. They are a trusted member of the team, showing initiative, leadership, and qualities that mark them out as a future star in the built environment. And our winner in the Rising Star category is Rhoda Mante Agre. Our penultimate award is one that was open to the public for submissions as our University Staff Member of the Year. This category recognises the contributions of our exceptional staff. The nominees for this award have genuinely gone above and beyond the call of duty to ensure that they support our apprentices and employers, and they've been nominated by our apprentices and employers alike. Our shortlisted nominees, and they are all Apprenticeship Outcomes Officers, are first of all Thomasin Bradshaw, secondly James Fry, and thirdly, Alex Martin. Now, I should say that our winner was nominated on multiple occasions, and this is what some of our nominators said. What stands out most is their genuine care. their progress and well-being for myself as an apprentice. They are always a friendly face to see in the meetings. They are happy, encouraging and optimistic. They've been highly instrumental, efficient, helpful and commercially minded in steering me as counsellor and our apprentice through the apprenticeship journey. They are punctual, organised, well-informed, pragmatic and give excellent advice. And the winner of the Staff Member Award is Thomasin Bradshaw. Okay, look, I appreciate you've been stood up for a while now, and you'll no doubt be looking forward to making yourself back to the bar for the rest of the evening. But there is one more award to go, and it's the Vice Chancellor's Choice Award. It's one which I have the honour of awarding to an apprentice who demonstrates all of our institutional values. Those are passion, excellence, integrity and support. I have to tell you, this person was nominated no less than 12 times from fellow apprentices, from university staff and those who are senior to himself. We've already seen him once tonight, but I do want to welcome him back on stage to receive his additional award. The winner of the Vice Chancellor's Award goes to Callum Hare. Well, huge congratulations, Callum. I had the pleasure of catching up with Callum earlier on, and he's doing extraordinary things in our industry. Thank you to all of our winners and all of those that were shortlisted. It really is hugely joyous for me to recognise all of your achievements tonight. Can I also extend my thanks to all of you here for joining us at this very special evening. I know many of you, and I've heard you, have been cheering on your organisation's staff and apprentices. And if you didn't win, don't worry, because you're still doing extraordinary things and you are changing our industry forever. And I really want to know you all to know how much I appreciate all of your support. In a moment, before we let you all loose again, could I ask those of you who have won this evening to join us back on stage for some photographs. Everybody else, you are more than welcome to stay for drinks, canapes and some networking, and I'll look forward to speaking to as many of you as possible. Before I finish, I'd just like you to join me in thanking the team that sit behind this event. It takes an enormous amount of energy and effort, and they do it absolutely brilliantly. So many thanks and congratulations to them as well. And just finally, huge thanks, Michaela. I mean, look, you are an absolute inspiration. You're precisely what our industry needs to move forward in the way that we all hope it will. So thank you for joining us this evening as well. Thank you. And with that, once again, if you've won an award, can you come back up to the stage? But everyone else, please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.